Hey guys, HDV here, and welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon video. Now, I recently made a top 5 video going over which new Pokemon introduced in Pokemon Sun and Moon deserved an evolution, and you guys seem to like it, and so today's video is a follow-up video to that. With the new 7th generation games, we've been blessed with a bunch of brand new Pokemon with amazing new abilities, moves, and of course, evolutions. Now, I'm a huge fan of evolution in Pokemon, especially when a new generation comes out. Getting to see what the Pokemon that you've been training up turns into is always fun to watch, and seeing how much stronger it gets along with the new moves it learns is always great to see too. Looking at the Alola Pokedex though, I can't help but think that a few of these new monsters could have definitely done with a pre-evolution for themselves that were unfortunately missed out. With that being said, today's video takes a look at the top 5 new Pokemon that should have had a pre-evolution in Pokemon Sun and Moon out of all of the new Pokemon released. Of course, this is all my own opinion, and so if you know of any other new Pokemon introduced in Pokemon Sun and Moon that you believe deserved a pre-evolution, then please leave it in the comment section below after watching this video. With all of that out of the way, let's get into the video, and I really hope that you enjoy. Starting things off and claiming the number 5 spot in today's top 5 video is a pre-evolution for Drampa. Drampa is a serpentine Pokemon similar to a Chinese dragon. Most of its skin is light blue, but the lower half of its face and underside of its neck are a pale green. There are 3 spots on each of its sides that are also light green. Now, when we first saw Drampa, people were certain that it was going to be the evolved form of Dunsparce, and with reason. There are quite a few similarities between the two Pokemon, and Drampa is also a dual typing of Normal and Dragon, whereas Dunsparce is a solo typing of Normal, so it makes sense that when Dunsparce evolved it would gain the Dragon typing. But of course, this wasn't the case, and Drampa is a single stage Pokemon. However, I would have loved Drampa to have had a pre-evolution anyway. I would have liked there to have been a few more new Dragon type Pokemon introduced in Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I believe that this would have been a good opportunity for it to happen. Maybe a smaller, cuter dragon that ages thousands of years when it evolves, something similar to Baby Dragon and Thousand Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh! But let's not get into other games here. For all of these reasons, Drampa takes the number 5 spot in today's top 5 video. Coming in at the number 4 spot in today's top 5 video is a pre-evolution of Oricorio. Oricorio is an avian Pokemon that can change between 4 markedly different forms. All forms have a light pink beak, thin legs and dark eyes with white pupils. The feet have 3 toes in front and 1 in back, and the beak curves downward. Seeing as there are 4 different forms of this Pokemon, I would have loved to have seen a pre-evolution that evolved into one of the forms through different evolution requirements, just like the Tyrogue evolution line. With Tyrogue, its stats determine what it evolves into at level 20, having the 3 different options being Hitmonlee, Hitmontop and Hitmonchan. This would have been pretty cool to see with Oricorio too. Perhaps a small baby bird Pokemon that is a solo flying type, and if its attack is its highest stat then it would evolve into the Bailey style, whereas if its defense is its highest stat then it would evolve into the Pom-Pom style. Maybe something along those lines. Regardless of how the evolution requirements would work, I would have still loved to have seen this happen in Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, and so for these reasons, Oricorio takes the number 4 spot in today's top 5 video. Coming in at the halfway point in today's top 5 video is a pre-evolution for Brooksich. Brooksich is a fish-like Pokemon covered in colourful scales and fins. The front of its body is light blue with large, dark purple lips. Its mouth is full of sharp teeth. The upper half of its body is mostly light purple, while the lower half is mostly yellow. The purple portion of its body is dotted with light blue spots. The yellow underside extends up around its eyes, which are light purple with light blue pupils. For me, across the generations of Pokemon, there have been too many fishes that just haven't been shown the love of an evolution, such as Alomomola, Luvdisc, Relicanth, Stunfisk, the list just goes on, and now add Brooksich to it too. I think it would have been pretty cool to see a smaller fish, maybe with its teeth not as sharp as Brooksich's seeing as it's in the developing stage, and maybe being just a pure water type that receives its psychic typing through evolution. I quite like the idea of a small colourful fish evolving to a much larger fish with huge teeth and jawline, but that's just me. For all of these reasons, Brooksich takes the number 3 spot in today's top 5 video. Claiming the number 2 spot in today's top 5 video is a pre-evolution for Tertinator. Tertinator is a bipedal, turtle-like Pokemon with a spiny shell. Its skin is a greenish grey and only visible on its limbs, tail, head and neck. On top of its head is an additional shell with many points around the brim. This extra shell has a black centre, yellow in the middle and a red outer rim. As mentioned earlier on in the video, I would have loved to have seen a couple more new dragon type Pokemon featured in Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, and just like Drampa having a pre-evolution, I feel that Tertinator should have gotten one too. A small dragon Pokemon with a small spiky shell that was in the stages of developing would have been really cool to see, and I'm pretty bummed out that this didn't become a reality. I've really liked the design of Tertinator, and so a smaller, cuter version of it would have been a nice addition to Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. Maybe just a solo fire type that gets the added dragon typing when it evolved into Tertinator, but unfortunately this wasn't the case and we didn't get to see it become a reality. For all of these reasons, a pre-evolution of Tertinator takes the number 2 spot in today's top 5 video. Finishing things off and claiming the number 1 spot in today's top 5 video is a pre-evolution for Oranguru and Passimian. Oranguru is a large white Pokemon resembling an orangutan. Whilst most of its body is covered in white fur, its hands, feet and snout are bare with its light grey skin visible. Passimian is a black and white Pokemon resembling a powerfully built lemur with broad shoulders. Most of its fur is white, but it has a black muzzle, upper body, hands, feet and ankles and tail. However, there is a wavy white ring near the top of its tail. Now, before you say anything, I know that these two new Pokemon are version exclusive, Passimian being exclusive to Pokemon Sun, whereas Oranguru is exclusive to Pokemon Moon. However, just like the Rockruff evolution line, we could have seen the pre-evolution being available in both games and then evolving to either Passimian or Oranguru depending on which version you were playing. I really like this idea for Rockruff, and I believe this kind of idea would have also fit in really well with these two new monkey Pokemon that are featured in Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. And so because of these reasons, a pre-evolution for these two Pokemon takes the number 1 spot in today's top 5 video. But with that, wraps up this video. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did making it. If you did enjoy the video though, please leave a like, I'd really appreciate it. Like I said at the start of the video, I would also love to hear your guys' opinions too on this subject, so be sure to leave them in the comment section below. I have a couple top 5s coming onto your screen in a second, so be sure to give them a watch if you have the time, and also subscribe if you like my content. That's everything from me though, so thanks for watching guys, have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video.